Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is one I am super excited to share with you. It is going to be my very first hair tutorial. Now, this hair tutorial was inspired by Katie, aka Luster Lux, her simple wavy kind of bend in the hair tutorial that she did a couple weeks back. I saw that look, fell in love with it, replicated it, and then have been doing a couple modifications and tweaks to get it to work better for my hair, just because I have very different hair from Katie's, and I absolutely love this. I think it's super effortless. It's a really easy style to do, especially if you don't have a lot of time, but you want to add some sort of texture and movement to the hair without it keeping it completely straight. So a couple modifications that I made from Katie's. First off, she expressed that she has very thin or very fine hair. I have super thick hair. I have to thin it out probably once every month and a half or so, just because it gets so thick that I can't barely run my hands through it. I also do a lot of deep conditioning treatments to kind of help with that problem. But anyways, that's for another video. So I have very thick hair. I also have long hair. It's currently past, you can't even see how long it goes because it does go past my boobs at this point. So I do have longer hair. Also, I don't have any layers to it. It's completely straight other than in the front, where I have some face layers, and that's it. I also, in this video, I'm doing a side part versus a middle part. I'm not a Kardashian. I do not have any sort of symmetry to my face whatsoever. It's very round. So if I do a middle part, it just accentuates the roundness of the face. So a side part works a little bit better for me. But anyways, I'm going to show you kind of my take and how I do it and how this hairstyle worked for me, and kind of share that with you guys. So anyways, let's get into the actual hair part. So currently I am on day one hair. I have washed it. I have not styled it, sorry, blow dried it. So there aren't any products other than the mousse that I put in before I blow dry my hair in it right now. I find that this style works best if you have day one or day two hair, just because by the time you start getting to day three or day four, it's a little harder to get that effortless wave. Typically what I do is on day one, sometimes if I can get away with it, I won't do anything to my hair. I'll just leave it, let it completely air dry. My natural hair has a little bit of wave and bend to it. It's not this straight, but for the sake of this tutorial, I blow dry my hair. Then usually I'll do day two, I'll do this hairstyle, or I'll leave it completely straight. By day three, I usually curl it. Sometimes day four, I'll still have it curled. Usually by day four, I start putting it up and doing updos and stuff, just because it has the most texture and it'll have the best hold in. I'm going in with the Conair 1-inch curling iron. If you have a wand, that makes this tutorial a million times easier to do, just because you don't have to worry about the clamp. For this, if you are using a curling iron, I'm just going to keep the clamp open the entire time. That way we're not getting that weird kind of bend or crinkle in the hair. The only wand I have, it's a 1.5 inch to 3/4 inch tapered, and I tried that with this hairstyle. It doesn't work. It just looks really silly, and I end up just basically curling my hair. So I want to do a tutorial showing how I use that and how I use that to actually get really curly hair, just because I like how that looks. But for this look, something like this works really well. If you have longer hair, then you could go even up to a 1.5 inch barrel, but anything where it's completely straight is going to be the best for the hair. So I'm going to start by sectioning off the hair, because again, I have very thick hair, and if I try to keep it all down in one layer, then it ends up becoming too much and too thick. So I'm going to start off with this section, because I do have the side part. This section has less hair. So I'm just going to take a rubber band and section off the top part of it and bring the rest right here. Now again, because I do have face layers, I do have some hair that's shorter like this. So for that, I'm going to keep it pretty small, just so I can get a little bit of a tighter curl and get it kind of out of the way so it blends in better. Now for the actual kind of hairstyle, I'm going to take about a 1-inch width of hair, and towards the end of the barrel, I'm going to wrap it about 1.5 to 2 times around. You don't want to do it any more than that, just because then you start getting those kind of ringlet curls. For me, Katie did it about one time around and that was it. For me, since my hair is longer, I do it about 1.5 to 2 times and I get a curl like this. So it has a little bit of bounce to it, but not a ton. Just because my hair is so thick, I do need to wrap it around a little bit more just to get any sort of hold to it, because eventually it is going to kind of loosen out and look more like a wave. Do that to the same to this side and then kind of leave it like that. Brought the rest of the hair down, and now I'm going to go back into those 1 inch width of hair, wrap it 1.5 to 2 times around. And you want to make sure you leave the ends out just because that's what's going to give the bend. And I hold it for about 10 to 15 seconds. See? I place the iron based off of where I want the wave to form on the shaft of the hair. So the higher up it is, the higher up the bend is going to be. The lower it is, the lower the bend is going to be. So typically the hair that is on top of my hair, I'll do it about midway down, versus the hair that was on that bottom layer, I concentrated it more towards the bottom of the hair. And I'm going to take any little front pieces and tuck them so that they're all going the same length.
So that is 1/2 of the hair done.
So now we're moving off to the second part of the hair. Again, I have it sectioned off. I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the other side. You want to make sure that you're turning it away from the face when you're doing the curl. You don't want to turn it in towards the face because it's not going to give you that kind of wave. I do have a couple areas where it's a little bit thinner and a little bit shorter than the rest of my head. So I'm going to wrap that a little bit tighter around the hair just to give it a little bit more definition on top of the head. So I wrap this about 2.5 to 3 times around. Because it's shorter, that way it gives it a little bit more lift, and when it blends in with the rest of the hair, it doesn't look like a one random wave with the rest of it being more straight. Now right here towards the front of my hair is where I have my bangs, and it kind of tapers off towards the end. So I'm going to section this off so that my bangs are here. It's gonna look silly, but bear with me. So my bangs are over here out of the way, and then I have this part of my that is still my the rest of my hair. Now the areas where my hair is a little bit longer, I'm going to wrap it a couple extra times around. So instead of 1.5 to 2, I'm going to wrap it like 2.5 to 3 times around, just to give it a little more hold. Now, for my actual bangs, since I do have some shorter pieces, I'm going to section it off again in half. And I'm going to work in smaller sections versus trying to get all of my bangs together at once. And for this, I am going to wrap it around a little bit extra just so that it holds a little bit better. Alright, so now that we have the hair completely done, I'm going to take my hands and kind of run through it just to loosen everything up and make it a little bit less defined. Running a comb through it also helps. You could also take a straightener if there's certain areas where you feel like you want less definition. It'll kind of loosen it up a little bit. It also, you can now kind of take a look and see if there's any other areas where you want a little bit more curl or not. I think really this section right here on this side is the only thing that needs a little bit more. Alright, now so to add a little bit of texture and volume to the top, I'm going in with the John Friedo Beach Blonde Sea Waves Sea Salt Spray. I'm just going to shake it up and I'm going to spray it towards the top to kind of lift and add some texture. You can go in with a texturizing mist or spray or any kind of thickening spray as well. I just like using this one because it doesn't add any crunch to the top of the hair and it keeps everything a little bit more wavy like. And then to finish everything off, I'm going in with the Aussie Awesome Volume Hairspray. This bottle is so giant. I've had this for probably 2.5 years and I'm finally starting to reach the end. Thank God, because I haven't bought any other hairsprays because I wanted to get through all of this first. So it is a good hairspray. I just want to try out other ones. So I'm going to shake that up. And lightly spray to give some hold. You can also use hairspray to kind of pump up the volume a little bit. Alright, and there you have it. That completes this hair tutorial. Again, I love this just because I think it's super effortless, it's sexy, it goes well with anything, and honestly, I mean, in total, this took me probably 10-15 minutes to complete my hair. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up to see more. Also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest at Hopeful Forever. I'll leave the links down below. Let me know any other hair tutorials you want to see, what you think about this. I definitely want to do more hair tutorials. I think this was a lot of fun, and I think that I don't really come on here and talk about hair a lot, but I am a huge hair junkie. I've been doing my own hair for the past 3 to 4 years now. Honestly, the last time I actually went into a salon and got my hair done was my senior year of high school. I think it was right before I graduated. I got a lot cut off, and ever since then, I've kind of sworn off salons just because they've done a really bad job with my hair. And honestly, I like the way I do my hair. I think I do a pretty good job, but that's just me. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in my next video.